Hi, this is my graphic organizer to help our teachers essentially break down the data and understand the data analysis protocol within our school. So our school has a very standard set of questions that we have to go through and answer every year with our PLTs. We call them PLTs instead of PLCs. And so I really basically took those questions and broke it down into a chart for the PLTs to work with during teacher work week. So this is page 1 of my chart, where they would be looking at this and being able to fill in the information, something that they would be able to use throughout the year. One of the things that I really want to focus on is that during teacher work week, we have a time frame for PLTs to work together in a whole faculty setting where they're given some guidance and some support systems to get through this information. So for instance, the SLO population information will be something that the school leaders will be able to provide, and then the teams will kind of be able to determine what of that information they need to input into their categories. The baseline evidence is going to be a combination of information that they collected last year during the PLT times, and that they're going to be able to work with us. This will also include evidence that we received over the summer from our state testing, so from SAT and ACT scores, which actually showed a downward trend for our teachers. So this is going to be something that really is going to be important for us to look at as a school and to evaluate and break down together. Our baseline evidence and our progress monitoring function off of the same questioning. It'll be a little bit different in terms of the responses. So they would be filling in these two charts during the start of the school year, and then they would be working on filling this in to kind of guide the work that they do throughout the school year, but they would be collecting the data in a different place. And then the final outcome would be something that they conduct in April. I also put on this sheet, so it'd be handed out separately so they'd be able to use this side by side as they're going through the questions that we use to help guide their thinking. So this is something that we've had for a few years, and something that I kind of added onto a little bit here and there just to kind of identify different ways that might help our teachers think differently about the data and about what they're doing in their classroom. This logo population would be really just focusing on what our school's population is, and then really what their information is. So for some teachers, they might be looking at multi-grade levels, and some other teachers might be looking at a single grade level within the high school. Baseline evidence, one of the things that I added into this that we focused on a little bit last year is whether or not our low SES students are achieving at the same level. So it wasn't just about race for us anymore. It wasn't about students of color. It was also about our students of low SES and how they're performing. So again, you'd be able to see that our baseline evidence and progress monitoring have the same questions that we use. And it really is to get the teachers thinking about what they're doing in their classroom, what have we used, what are we using, what are we going to use. And so they would be able to work with our PLTs to fill this information in. I'm also going to be creating this in a Google Forms for them to go back to their PLTs and to be able to kind of answer a little bit more specifically for our school leadership and our department coordinators to be able to work with that information to guide professional development and ways that we might be able to better support our teachers in terms of what they're doing this year to help them with their SLO goals. I also included in this the final outcome questions, so this would be something that they wouldn't answer until April, but it would be part of the data collection process. Again, they'd be collecting in a more formal location in terms of the data and being able to process in different charts that we would be able to access. But I also wanted to include just different important dates for them to reflect on and to kind of have those in their planners or their calendars so that they can make sure that they're planning accordingly for the school year. So this is the graphic organizer and the questions that I would use to help guide our school through this process.